While this video is about power, also known as exponentiation, let's take a step back and look at the more elementary mathematical operations. The most simple one is the one that we start our math with, which is addition. For the sake of optimizing our mathematical calculations, we have the next level of operation, which is multiplication. Multiplication is the same as addition. In this case, we add the same number repeatedly. And the convenience of multiplication is that we can memorize the outcomes, as in the multiplication table, for example, or some of the more advanced numbers. And that allows us to get to the answers very quickly in a matter of moments instead of adding numbers, which takes much longer. Let's look at an example. If we have 3 horses and we want to outfit them with new horseshoes, what we can do at the very basic level, we can add 4 horseshoes 3 times, considering that there are 3 horses, and by doing the addition, we'd get to the answer 12. A more sophisticated approach would be to use multiplication. Since number 4 is added repeatedly, we can use multiplication, and multiplying 4 by 3 leads us to a quicker, shorter process of getting to the answer 12. Obviously, this point is better demonstrated at higher numbers. So for example, multiplying 8 by 7 instead of adding 8 7 times, which takes more time, we can just refer to our knowledge of what the result of 8 times 7 would be, and we could say 56 in no time, getting to the same solution but much quicker. Now that we've considered how addition and multiplication are related, let's go to the next level, from multiplication to powering. So the relationship is very similar. In the case of exponentiation, or what we call power, what happens is we apply multiplication of the same number repeatedly. So just like the way we added 4 repeatedly to get to the multiplication, in this case, if we were to use power, we would multiply the same number, 4, for example, repeatedly as well. While I realize that the explanation that I have given you so far is very basic, I believe that the fundamental understanding on the simplest of levels is very empowering when we face more unfamiliar looks or problems. With your buy-in, let's proceed. And to review the concept of power, we'll look at a situation where our friend opens a cooking channel on YouTube. And let's assume that our friend invites 2 friends. And let's further assume that each of the friends that she invites, that in turn invite other friends, have a multiplication effect of 2. So in this case, our friends, each of them invites 2 friends, and that leads to 4 new followers, and each of the new followers also adds another 2, which means at that stage, they invite another 8 new followers. So the multiplication rate of 2 in this case is called a base, and each step in the process, going from the chef herself, who gives the lessons, to the first 2 friends and so on, is reflected in the exponent. Let's mark accordingly. Our chef is at the level 0 with a base of 2. Once she invites 2 of her friends, that's the first level of marketing, let's say. And then once the friends proceed to the second level, that's in the power of 2. And at the third level, the power is 3. Let's consider how math works itself out. 2 in the power of 0 equals 1. 2 in the first power is when 2 is only multiplied once, equals to 2. 2 in the second power, which means 2 times 2 equals 4. In the third power, which means 2 is multiplied by itself 3 times, equals 8. In the fourth power, it is 16. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Now let's skip a few steps, and to see the true effect of exponentiation, looking at the seventh power of 2, we get very quickly to 128. And if we take another 2 steps, that number jumps to 512. So in 9 stages of multiplication, where every new follower leads to 2 more followers, we get to this quite significant number of 512 followers. We just observed what many call exponential growth, and this is a term that you will start noticing moving forward if you haven't already. And exponential growth implies this kind of rampant growth. And so you have a better idea of how it works. Let's look at another example. In this case, we'll use the base of 3. So if our friend invited 3 friends, and the way it worked, that the enthusiasm was big enough to spread for each of those followers to 3 more followers, using base of 3, we'll go through a few stages of that process of powering. And in that case, at the first level, our friend would have 3 followers. At the second, 9, third, 27, fourth, 81. And you can see that it already starts to significantly surpass that scenario of base 2. And at the 7th level, it goes out of control, because in 7 stages, it reaches 2,187 followers. And 2 more steps, and we're almost hitting on 20,000 followers. After this exercise, you are sure to understand why social media sites are growing this fast, because that network effect of spreading and multiplying repeatedly leads to exponential growth that leads to millions and millions of followers and billions of views and so on. And that's how such social media websites as Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat, that's how they came to dominate and grow consistently. Assuming you like the content of this channel, I hope you also make your contribution to making this channel grow, and I would be greatly indebted to you for that.